What's going on? Hey, it's Mitch from Calvert here in the corner, trying to flex in this little tiny graphic. And I wanted to share on today's episode exactly what I'm doing from now until however long it takes to lose 5% body fat. Ideally, it's spring, early summer. I like to take it slow and sustainable, no more than 1% of body weight per week, so that muscle is preserved and so on. And I don't feel like I'm really sacrificing a lot or a ton. So that means I'm roughly 220, give or take a few pounds right now. That likely takes me around 205, and I'll explain how I come up with that math. All right, so currently, as of my last DEXA, 18.8% body fat. I've always carried body fat. Honestly, it's just I don't have that ectomorph physique, certainly, nor am I a mesomorph. I'm kind of a blend. Like, I build muscle easily, but I certainly put on fat easy. And being 260 pounds for more than a decade probably didn't help with that. Once you've created a fat cell, they never truly go away, they just shrink. So I'm always susceptible to gaining back weight. So here's the good news, though, is my visceral fat is next to nothing, 0.39, less than a pound. According to this DEXA app that I've used for my DEXA scan, 81% under my peer group average. Great. And most importantly for me is my T-score is very high, well above the healthy range, which basically is a sign of bone density, right? Bone health. So 18%, if I flex hard enough, there's some semblance of abs, but certainly lean by all standards of that metric, but not shredded by any means. Okay. So this also comes up with a biological age. Again, I'm not reading too much into this. AI is cool. I don't know how it comes up with this formula, to be honest with you. I'm 41 today. It's telling me I'm 21, at least underneath the hood, which matches up okay with my heart. My heart is averaged out at 10, 11 years under where it should be, based off my aura rank. Sorry, I was about to put that off because of a test they do. So again, everything seems to be adding up, which is good. I don't read much into that though. So the target is 13 to 15% body weight. Target weight of 205. How do I come up with that math? Well, simply fat mass is roughly 41.8 pounds. Lean mass 178 pounds. So to get to sub 15%, if we preserve every pound of lean mass, you're looking at, a little under 210 pounds. Now, knowing that, there's always some water loss, so that likely translates to 12 to 15 pounds on the scale. Okay, body fat drops 4 percentage points, rounding down to that, but hopefully 5% is where we get to at the end here. Okay, so how do we preserve all lean mass? I'll talk about that in a sec. First and foremost is the nutrition strategy, so that doesn't roll off the tongue, but roughly speaking, to lose just shy of a pound per week, I need to average 2,300 calories a day, upwards of 2,500 calories. Protein, the floor is 190 grams. Often I will exceed that because it helps with appetite, and I have a ravenous appetite as soon as I cut calories. So that is critically important, and it also helps preserve muscle mass, assuming you're training right. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Moderate calorie deficit, adequate protein, 1% of body weight a week. Okay. Next up is a quick sample meal plan here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll move myself again. So I like to start the day with like a light breakfast. By all means, it's not Denny's. It's double scoop of protein, Canadian protein. Shout out if you want a discount code. So 50 grams of protein there, plus another 20 in a crank bar. I'll probably cut the crank bar out sooner than later, because that has 300 calories, right? So we're getting up to a full meal, even though it's a light meal. Lunch, 2 or 4 meals. I do have a relationship with them. I pay full price, don't worry. Clients get a discount, but we do 1 meal a day from there, and it's burrito bowl or something, fairly high protein, around that 500 calorie mark. More or less the same idea. Chicken, or at dinner, chicken fajita bowl in this case. And then I have to have my ice cream sandwich. I usually have a grenade bar or a protein bar, again, at some point in the evening to kind of take the edge off that snackiness, or a smoothie bowl, which is essentially like Greek yogurt with some little bit of protein powder mixed in, and that's it. Okay. It's very fluid though. In terms of supplements, so a lot of these are optional. I'm not going to say anything is going to make a huge difference with the plan here. Some of these are just my staples, like Boron, especially at 41. I have healthy testosterone and I don't want to go the injection route. And this helps kind of maximize what I do have. Boosts free testosterone, the unbound amount that you actually use. And studies show it works. Not a lot of studies. It's not a real cash cow for the pharmaceutical industry, so they don't do much studies on it. But I've seen in my blood work it make a difference. So it's enough to justify. Even just like placebo effect or not, I just feel more dialed in, more focused. Vitamin D, K3, it's D3 and K2. Off and on, I'm not always religious about that. During the summer, I don't take it at all. But in the winter, during the dog days, when we don't get any light, I do take that, and it's supposed to help residually with testosterone bone health. Curcumin, again, that's because I notice a real benefit in my joint health, and my mood seems to take a hit if I'm not taking it. Fish oil, optional again. I probably will only do this if I'm not having fish with a couple meals a week. And then berberine, just experimenting with this, like as a high carb meals, higher carb on off days when I'm not kind of burning through glycogen in the workout. Some benefit to glucose control. It kind of fills me up, makes me bloated, which I guess is the purpose of it, and I don't eat as much. Okay, so something I'm really inconsistent with. I don't know if it makes a huge difference, honestly. People swear by it. For me, I'm trying to kind of uncover every stone here. Peptide protocol, controversy, Sloop 332. So again, I'm in the know in bodybuilding circles, and this keeps coming up as this savior supplement, and it's an oral pill. I don't have to take an injection. So I'm going to source it. I'm going to try it. Will it be something I think is going to make a massive difference? I really don't. I'm really skeptical of anything like this. But pre-workout, it's an exercise mimetic, so you get a bit more calorie burn over the course of the day. It's supposed to increase fat oxidation, and you may get a benefit for more pumps, more effort in the gym, which loosely translates to better results over time. And I was just kidding about HGH. I don't know where to get it, don't ask me. I would say it could be down the road, something I introduced as an anti-aging protocol, but verdict is very much out. All right, just want to put that in there, make sure people are paying attention. Later in the process, I might introduce like a low-calorie day where Sunday PM to Monday PM, at 24 hours where we're most motivated, I'll just reduce some calories. I never like to fast for prolonged periods. It just affects my workout recovery. I play hockey multiple times a week. I do not want to be crashing out just for the sake of losing a bit faster, and oftentimes not the right kind of weight I lose doing that anyway. So that's the first adjustment. When plateaus hit, and that means truly 3 weeks of consistency with no measurable signs of progress, reduce calories by 10%, increase protein. One or the other or both potentially. And I don't think I'll need to even do this, to be honest with you. Because I'm going to maintain my activity levels very high. So that 2,500 should lead to 1 pound a week over the next 8, 10, 12 weeks to get close to my goal. All right. Cool. Most importantly, what I talk about all the time, the Big 5 framework is the foundation. You must prioritize your sleep. Absolutely get steps. Calories you burn walking over the course of the day matters far more than that circuit workout you're doing that your watch says you burned 800 calories. Not how it works. The body adjusts to that very quickly. So walking is restorative. You can do it as much as you want, frankly, and it really helps support the calorie deficit, the cap I talked about, which really drives most of the results. Okay, then you train for strength to maintain muscle. Maybe if you're lucky, you might build some muscle. I'm just trying to not lose it, and I'll likely flatten out a little bit, lose some water weight, but if I take it slow and sustainable and really work hard in the gym, I likely won't see any real muscle loss. And then water, 3 liters a day, 3L club. Okay. So there you have it. That's the game plan. I will definitely screw up at times, aiming for 80% compliance to these 5 metrics. And if I don't find I'm accountable, I don't get results, so I'm certainly going to take part in my New Year's challenge, 12-week challenge with the rest of the CalFit clientele, where you get points and you gamify the experience, and there's a leaderboard and all that fun stuff. And then I will have accountability to my own coach as well, because it's one thing to have it down on paper or digital like this. It's another thing to implement consistently to actually get results, and that is the bridge to cross. And oftentimes we need a Sherpa to get us there, right? So I'm no different than anyone else. Hopefully this helps. We'll talk soon. Let me know if you have any questions. Mitch at mitchcalvert.com, or we'll see you in the next challenge.